Henry VI, Part 2. It's widely considered by many scholars to be the first historical play that Shakespeare wrote. It was performed as early as 1591, and there was a quarto edition published in 1594 that was titled "The First Part of the Contention of the Two Famous Houses of York and Lancaster." We'll get into that in a bit. And then it was also included in the first folio in 1623 as the second part of Henry VI. There are a few main characters, major players, and then several smaller characters that still play a very important role. There's King Henry VI, who is the young, newly crowned King of England. And there's Queen Margaret, which is King Henry's new French wife. There is the Duke of York, who claims to be the heir to the third son of Henry III, or Edward III. Sorry about that. There's John Cade, who is a commoner who the Duke of York hires to sort of lead a rebellion in England, and we'll get more into that in a bit. There's Gloucester, who is acting as a protector of England because Henry is so young and they don't feel that he's ready to rule yet. The Duchess is Gloucester's wife. There's Somerset, the nobleman who is plotting against Gloucester, and Suffolk, who is the Queen's lover. In Act 1, Henry is introduced as a weak king, particularly because he traded key English territories in France for his wife Margaret, which didn't have a whole lot of political motivation behind it. The parties vying for the throne are introduced. The main people are Henry, York, and the Duchess, and their respective supporters are also introduced. Then the Duchess conjures a spirit and asks it questions about the kingdom. She is arrested for practicing sorcery. In Act 2, King Henry exposed the fake healing miracle. The Duchess is also banished from the kingdom. York begins to go around and gain supporters to his cause. Gloucester gives up his position due to his wife's scandal, but he still claims he is above reproach in spite of his wife's actions. In Act 3, Gloucester is arrested for treason, and York is sent to Ireland to deal with the rebellion there, which he is really excited about because it gives him the opportunity to gain an army, which is the one thing that he needed to try and grab the throne. So then, before he leaves, York hires John Cade, who is a commoner, to lead sort of an uprising in England, and to claim that he is a York heir to the throne. And so then York is going to use this to gauge the public opinion and see if to see what the public response to York claiming the throne would be. Then Gloucester is murdered in his home by Suffolk's men. In Act 4, Suffolk is captured while at sea and is killed, and Cade declares his plan for England, ruled by the commoners, and gains public support. He captures London, but then the people are reminded of Henry's noble rule and then turn on him, and he is killed. Then in Act 5, York returns from Ireland and approaches London with his army. He finally publicly claims his right to the throne. His army defeats Henry's, Henry flees, and York is ready to enter London and take the throne. And so this play starts out where the last one ended, and as this ends, the War of the Roses had become public, and it's just about to get really bloody. So some major themes and elements was ineffectual rather than corrupt leadership. Henry is not corrupt, but it explores what happens when there's someone who's just apathetic on the throne, and that leads to a kingdom divided against itself, with all the noblemen trying to grab power because no one is stepping up to the job. then there's the dangers of popular rule because the common people are easily swayed just by suggestion. And then there's a lot of violence and a lot of grotesque descriptions of violence, most notably Gloucester's death.
7 seconds to go. Nice job.